In this video, I'm going to attempt to explain how this project works. On the screen, it starts with the code, and the code is saying that this board everything's going to be running through pin 13. Okay, and so the code is then connected to my board, and so here this green wire is attached to pin 13, and it comes over here onto the breadboard, okay, and to the row, to the second row, okay, and this is going to be the positive end. The LED is then also, the positive end is attached onto that same row, and then the negative is the row underneath. And then this resistor is plugged in to the negative row, and then it comes over and is plugged into the negative here, and then your ground wire is plugged in, and it comes over here into the ground, and that's what completes the circuit. So whenever things are changed on your code, then your board follows those commands. And as we played around, we did see some changing of some things. First, just messing with the board. If you took this red wire out, which is the positive, and it's connected to the 5-volt pin over here. When you take that out, nothing changes. The LED continues to blink, which I thought that was very interesting. I'm not sure the whole point of the red wire being there, but I'm sure that's something that I will learn more about. When I took a wire and put it here at the negative and touched the LED, then the LED would also blink. There were several different things that I followed in the circuit play that I found very interesting. Some things, it didn't change anything. Other things, it did. When I changed the port to port 12, it did not run. The light didn't blink or anything. Then when I went over to the code play, and I moved the wire to port 13, and then I went into the code and changed wherever it said pin 13. If I changed every one of them to pin 12, then the light started blinking again. So I thought that was interesting. And it led me to kind of think that I maybe knew more than I did, because when I got to the extension challenge, I struggled a little bit with that. But some of the other things on the code play, changing the delays, I thought was very interesting. I did find out the higher the number for the delay, like when we moved it to 2000, the slower it would blink. So when I moved the delay down to like 500, I had it blinking every second. So there were 60 blinks in a minute. When I put the forward slashes before words and things like that, then I would just receive an error message. So I really don't quite understand what the forward slashes mean, but I'm ready to learn some of that. The curly brace, when I put that, or when I removed that, I also received a error message, and it said that you must have the curly brace at the end of input. So I found it very interesting. I enjoyed putting 2 more LEDs up here on these same rows, but in B2 and 3 and D2 and 3. And so I had 3 of them lighting up, but they were all on the same circuit, so they were all blinking at the same time, at the same rate. So when I got down to the extension challenge on number 3, I really was at a loss.